So guys, welcome to this live stream. It was a long time ago I did a live stream on SteamVR. I hope you can hear me. If you do, please let me know in the comments right now, so I'm sure I'm not talking just to myself. Well, in this show we are going to talk a lot about XTAL. We're going to talk about Pimax. We're going to talk about a little bit about my channel as well, what's going on and so and why. And then we're going to move on to Q&A and ask me anything, and yeah, we can just discuss anything you want. I hope I will not do this live stream too long. I will try to stick below 2 hours at least. Let me know. Audio is fine? Great. First off, my voice is still not okay. I'm a little bit sick right now. Still, after 2 weeks of flu, I'm still haven't got my voice back really, and I'm coughing a lot. So hopefully I will not cough too much during this live stream. So bear with me, guys. Thank you for that. Anyway, before we begin, big thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate your support, even though I'm very slow with my content lately. And also my official sponsors, Commander Darklight, Art Armin, and VR Ambassador. I really appreciate all your support, guys. So yes, first off, this live stream I'm going to share, well, I'm going to have a few bits of it. First off, I'm going to talk about the XTAL and the Pimax and everything. So we're going to leave the Q&A and the questions for a little bit. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to talk first. So I think it's going to be better like this. I'm not like forgetting something. I'm going to try to show you some stuff also here. And yeah, then we can move on to the AMA and the Q&A and whatever it's called. So yeah, the first topic will be the XTAL event, or the XTAL Prague trip I just made this weekend. And also I want to discuss the trip to Gouda or Gouda in Amsterdam I did about 2 weeks ago, where VR Space did the Pimax meetup for the backers. It was very nice trips, both of these, and there's a lot of information from these trips, and I will do a separate video for each trip during this week. I really hope I will be able to do both of the videos during this week, before this weekend ends at least. But today I'm just going to show you a little bit of the capture from there, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened there. And I have some really exciting news as well. Vurinami, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate your support, man. It doesn't have, you don't need to, guys. I'm just here for you. I'm just here to talk with you. I hope we're gonna have some cool conversations. I'm a little bit nervous actually. It was a long time ago I did this, so hopefully everything is gonna work out fine. So yes, before we begin, I know there's been a lot of lack of content on my channel lately, especially the last month, and so it's been mainly because of the flu I had for more than 2 weeks. I'm still not okay, and during the flu I couldn't even have any energy to do anything, not videos and scripting and everything. You know, you need to really feel good to make this content, and I just couldn't make it. And also those trips I made also took some time. And yeah, but I'm recovering now. I'm going to be back with kind of a regular schedule from now on. And the whole week I'm going to be actually free from work until Monday, until Christmas Eve actually. Then I'm going to work all Christmas. But more about that later. Yes, first off, I'm going to reply to you later, guys. So not too much questions yet, all right? Yes, first off, me, MRTV, Sebastian and Thomas from Voodoo.de, the YouTube channels, were invited to Prague by the VR engineers, the developers and the creators of the XTAL VR headset. I can just show you a little bit of clips from there meanwhile while I'm talking. We met the representatives Marek, Martin, Vaclav and Pavel, and we got the opportunity to test out the latest XTAL VR headset, doing some in-depth testing and some demos. And I'm going to do a full video more about these testings also, because I think they could be quite interesting to you to hear about. Well, the main reason for this trip was not really just to test out the headset. There's something else here. It's very good news. The VR engineers wants us, I mean me, Sebastian and Thomas, to join an exclusive beta and the development program of the XTAL headset. Not only one, but two of these actually. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Where we're going to do some in-depth testings, making further optimizations for making these headsets ready for SteamVR and gaming, and especially for serious VR simulator fans and enthusiasts, but also for casual VR gamers who can at least afford it. And well, the whole beta phase will be under NDA from the start. And it's going to take some time. I'm not sure how long, but hopefully not that long as it was with the, in terms of Pimax. But anyway, as soon as the NDA is over, we will be able to bring you some exclusive reviews and content on my channel and also on Sebastian's channel and Thomas' channel as well. We're going to do some reviews and some testings and comparisons between all these headsets. And I really hope you are going to enjoy it. But besides that, there is something else. The thing is that, well, VR engineers are working, as you probably have heard already from MRTV Sebastian, they are working on another headset, an XTAL headset, which is supposed to be, well, home consumer headset, more for gamers, more reasonably priced, of course. We don't know anything about the price yet, but still, it's going to be wide field of view, of course. It's going to be high resolution, and there's some really exciting stuff about this headset as well. I got a glimpse at some of the stuff with well concerning this headset. It's just crazy, but I cannot talk more about it now because yeah, we haven't even signed any NDA yet, but everything we saw, well, most of the stuff we saw were actually confidential, and most of the people don't even know about it yet, so we cannot really disclose anything yet. By the way, thank you so much for your super chat, Perplexer. Sorry, man. I'm a little bit messy right now. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, everything is gonna be under NDA for now about this headset, but I promise you, it's going to be groundbreaking. This is something that really is going to take VR to the next level sooner or later. And sometime during this year, 2019, or next year, 2019, there's going to be an exclusive beta program for us for this consumer grade headset as well. And it's going to start off the same way, probably with some beta testing and development and stuff. And as soon as we're ready, we can start to share information with you. And we're going to try to basically help to develop this product, customize it and optimize it for gamers. And this is just as we did with the Pimax, of course, with the Pimax headset. It was quite a successful thing we did, I think. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. Here you can actually see, while I'm talking, you can actually see Thomas from Voodoo and Sebastian from Mixed Reality TV testing out the current version of the XTAL headset. And it's using the SteamVR tracking 2.0 actually. As you can see, there is a cover or like a plastic thing on top of that you just clip on, and it gives you SteamVR, well, full SteamVR tracking support, and of course working with the Vive controllers and probably also with the knuckle controllers coming up soon, and probably is going to work with the Pimax controllers as well whenever they're ready. So yeah, no more details about that technology yet used in the upcoming headset, the new, well, the gamers version of the headset, and there is no details and price about the price or when it's going to be ready, but you're talking something about mid 2019, so maybe like in summertime or in the fall. And yeah, guys, I can once again say that what I saw at the VR Engineers lab, it was just mind-blowing. It's going to take VR to really higher grounds, I would say. I'm so excited about this, even though I love Pimax. I'm totally stuck into Pimax just because it is currently the best headset on the market. But I can tell you that if XTAL can actually price this thing, their upcoming headset, well, reasonably, I think it's going to be a really huge competitor into this. And why not just talk a little bit before we even do anything else, before even reply any questions. And so I want to talk a little bit about the current professional grade XTAL. I mean, I know it's expensive. It's a 4,900 euro unit. It's around $5,800. I think it's actually excluding VAT even. So yeah, I know this is not for gamers in general. This is not for the casual VR gamer. And I think a lot of you may not be even interested into this headset. But I can tell you that for serious VR simulators, who really are into this, you know, the guys that really buy those cockpits and all the things, that those really expensive stuff, I think that the current XTAL that is already available right now is going to be mind-blowing for them. And yes, it is beyond the Pimax and the Vive Pro and all the other headsets available right now on the market. So yeah, during this Prague visit we actually tested this unit, the current unit, for 2 days, both Saturday and Sunday. We tried it in many SteamVR games, especially in SteamVR games, because I think the SteamVR is the most important platform for everyone to use, of course. And I posted some clips actually on my Patreon. So if you are one of my patrons, you can see some of the clips from there, from this meetup, and some of my testing conclusions and so. But I can give you a little bit of a hint now, even though I will do a more I will do a video about all this later this week. So I'm gonna give you more information. Well, how this testing went, but still, we mainly tested SteamVR games and simulator compatibility. And while I cannot go into full details, it's still not 100% optimized yet, actually, I got to admit. There is still some stuff that needs to be corrected and fixed and calibrated and stuff for general use with SteamVR games. But it's still really, really, really impressive so far. The overall experience with the XTAL, the current experience with the XTAL, was quite mind-blowing, I have to say, because I tested it at VR Days. You remember my video I made like 1 month ago, I think, right after VR Days. I tested it together with just a car demo. It's like a custom demo they did outside of SteamVR. And while it was good, it was still not really showing the full potential of it. But now when trying it with the SteamVR gaming, I mean, we tried games like Project Cars 2, Assetto Corsa, we tried the Aerofly FS2, X-Plane 11, and Digital Combat Simulator especially. I gotta tell you that it was just fantastic. We also tried Skyrim, Onward, Pavlov, Skyworld, and a few other titles. And the last day I actually had some private time to just do it on my own. When Sebastian and Thomas left Prague, they had to go earlier. I was there until Monday. But anyhow, I gotta say that the image quality was just fantastic. Despite the few things that are still not perfect, the image quality was fantastic. The screen door effect, I gotta tell you, I'm always saying that the screen door effect is minimal, and I always say that with Pimax. But to be honest, here with the XTAL, it's like almost no existence. I would say it's non-existent. If you really, really struggle and look hard for it, you will see some screen door effect pattern, but you will never be able to distinguish any individual pixels like you do on the 5K Plus or the 8K even. And this was quite a mind-blowing experience to me. It's the first time I ever see such a clear, and sharp image. And also, I mean, this is OLED panels. I mean, the black levels, the colors, the contrast, everything was just fantastic. I was quite blown away. The field of view, if you wonder about the field of view, it's around between 170 and 180 degrees. It's very similar to the large field of view of the Pimax, but well, I don't know how much I can tell you yet, but while playing SteamVR games and simulators, I was actually paying attention to the corners, to the sides. I really tried to like peek on the edges of the screen, and it was fully sharp everywhere, on the sides, on the side corners, up and down, here and there. There's like no distortions whatsoever. The distortion we have seen with the Pimax, like a little bit of blur, and so it's just not there with the XTAL. And it's quite amazing that they have done this. They're using some special, they're using some special lenses. They're quite expensive. I've seen those lenses, they're like crazy. but I mean, the quality they have managed to make, both optical and also the panels, is really mind-blowing. Björn Kamitz, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna reply your question as well. Would you put any stock into the rumors that Valve is making a VR headset and they will release Half-Life VR for it? Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. Well, I know as much as you do. I don't know about the Valve headset. I really hope it's gonna be available soon. It is probably a product that is going to come, but when, we don't know. You know, Valve time, it can take like 1 or 2, 3 years. We don't know yet. But there are some rumors that they're going to release it next year. And if they do, yeah, I think it's going to be a huge competitor for the Pimax, for the XTAL, and well, especially for all the other HTC Vive and Oculus and everything. Even the Oculus Quest, I think, especially if they bundle together with Half-Life. But I'm not sure. I really do not have any details about this. I've read some Reddit posts and some articles online. But yeah, I really hope they will release it. I mean, especially if the field of view is like 140 degrees or something, I think it's more than enough. I mean, the difference between 140 or 150 and 170 degrees is not that huge that you would imagine, to be honest. So yeah, let's hope they will make this available soon. But jumping, and yeah, thank you once again, Björn, I really appreciate it, your super chat. With once again, jumping back to XTAL, I can tell you a little bit more details about it. And that is that the thing is that this headset uses native 1440p resolution when SteamVR is running at 100% super sampling. And that is something that I've never seen before in any headset running a fully native resolution. I'm going to try to show you a picture here. One of the pictures coming in a second is going to show you that while I was running Skyrim VR and I turned down the super sampling to 100%, it was pure 2560 times 1440p resolution per eye. And this is, as far as I know, this is a lot thanks to the high utilizations of the panels that XTAL is using, which is quite remarkable because all the other headsets are using higher resolution than native. Yeah, you can see that actually right now. I think the 2560 times 1440 at SteamVR 100%. And while the other headsets are using a high resolution just to compensate for some not the overflow, but it's called something like, yeah, some extra pixels that's going to be outside of the visible area. Here you actually get kind of the full resolution visible, and that is quite amazing, I would say. And also there's another thing into it, and that if you use that kind of resolution, which is much lower than Pimax, it's going to give you, well, better performance. And that's the whole thing about it. I can tell you that when I was running Skyrim VR, for example, I was running it in 4040p resolution, SteamVR, and I was running it, I mean, without any in-game super sampling. It was 1440p, it was fully butter smooth. Well, I think it was almost butter smooth in the most places where I went around, and it looked amazingly sharp. The thing is that we're using a much lower resolution, but it's still native, and it gives us more performance, but it still gives us the sharpness that I had never seen before in any other headset. And that is not only thanks to, I mean, the optics, it's also thanks to the panels and the high utilization of the panels. So you're not actually cropping anything from the panels, you're actually using the full of it. And those pixels, I mean, 1440p might sound a little bit low, but I can tell you that 1440p is almost perfect in VR if you can just use proper lenses. And I just got convinced about it. It's quite crazy that it's actually possible to get such crispness and sharpness and so minimal screen door effect on a 1440p resolution. That makes me think almost that 4K resolution is almost not even well needed in VR. So yeah, this is crazy. And if they can bring this to the, well, if they are going to do that, they are saying that they are going to do that, bring the same resolution, bring the same field of view, And yeah, without going into any details, to a consumer grade headset, this is going to be freaking crazy. I promise you. I've never been a huge screen door effect maniac, you know. I rather pay more attention to the field of view, the whole immersion in games. But once you see that crazy screen door effect, or that minimal, that non-existent screen door effect, basically, it's a bit hard to go back. Actually, it's almost like looking through a window, I would say. And I'm really not making a huge. I mean, like, I'm not exaggerating this or whatever it's called. It really is amazing. By the way, one more thing, the panels, like I said in my last XTAL review, they're running in 70 Hertz only. But this is only the professional version of the XTAL right now, the expensive one. For the gamer version, they're aiming to do more hertz, higher hertz. I don't know the details, I don't know how many hertz they're going to add, but I would say that the 70 hertz was not a problem for me to really enjoy those games. I could not see any flicker or some kind of bad effects or anything, any issues at all in terms of the hertz. And somehow it actually makes the headset less demanding, because you're only rendering 70 frames per second that way. But the other version, the second version that's going to come later on, will probably have higher hertz. So yeah, that's huge, Fathead Sim Racing. Yes, this is really huge. This is really like groundbreaking. I can tell you, when I was playing Digital Combat Simulator, I was flying with one of the helicopters around Dubai. It was mind-blowing. I've never seen, the thing is, I've never seen Digital Combat Simulator so freaking sharp and so clear and so crisp. It really looked amazing. I was sitting just straight in like a full flight simulator setup, and I don't have any video on that right now, unfortunately. But seriously, this is what I'm showing you right now is just sitting down. The last day I was just testing some stuff like Skyrim and so. And but when I was sitting in that airplane, playing with the helicopter with that joystick and everything, I could see everything on the cockpit. Every little gauge, every text was so freaking sharp. It was just amazing. I didn't have to lean back or zoom in anything to actually see all the minimal gauges. And this is something that I'm not really used to, even though Pimax really makes those gauges look much more clearer now. You can, well, almost see everything while just sitting straight. But in simulators, it was just crazy. It's just crazy. And games in general has never looked so beautiful as they do, especially Skyrim also. I tried to actually bump up the super sampling later on with in game, and it just got even better. It was like, can this even be better than this? It was quite mind-blowing. But as I said, as a last thing before we move on to the next topic, there are still some stuff that needs to be adjusted, and that's why we're going to join that beta phase program soon. I'm not sure when yet. Maybe in February, maybe in March. Hopefully very soon we'll get each unit, or loaner unit I suppose it is, that we can have for a couple of months to test it, to report bugs, to try to give our experiences as well. I'm not calling myself expert, but I've been doing a lot of VR and I've been doing a lot of Pimax, and I kind of know what wide field of view is about now, and how it should look, and how the resolution should look, and how the whole immersion should be. And while XTAL is very close to be there right now, it's not 100% there yet, but I cannot go into any details, and I'm sure everything is going to be fixed with software very, very soon as we actually start to beta test this unit, or even before we even start to test this unit. We'll see. XTAL, or the VR engineers, are really working hard on this, and they are really sophisticated. I saw their lab, I saw their office. It's just mind-blowing stuff. I've never seen such a serious and cool lab before. So yes, as I said, I will do a little like a sum up video of the whole XTAL thing later on this week. Not too long, just to give you a little bit more of my impressions of it. So yeah, I hope you can stay tuned for that. And the next topic, I would like to talk about Pimax. Before we move on to any questions and so, please leave the questions for a little bit longer, give me like 10-15 minutes or something. So yeah, about Pimax. First of all, the Gouda or Houda meetup I did in the Netherlands 2 weeks ago. It was arranged by a company called VR Space with Darius and Alex as the two main persons having this company. They're doing some really cool stuff. They're building like a VR arcade and stuff. They're in Houda and they have some great stuff already now showcasing. They have a lot of business going on, and they decided to have a Pimax meetup just for Pimax backers mainly, but there was also some enthusiasts invited which were not backers yet. And yes, they did like a meetup so we can try the difference between the Pimax 8K and the Pimax 5K Plus kind of side by side. And the thing is that when you really see those headsets side by side playing the same game and the same experiences, you really get the whole difference between those two headsets. And this is what we haven't been able to do before actually on the other Pimax backer meetups, not in this professional level, I think. I'm going to do a video from this, the VR Space meetup. I'm going to do that later on this week as well, including also an interview with Darius from VR Space. He's going to talk a little bit more in deep about his involvement into all this. And yes, well, also all the backers which were at the meetup, they also could compare the Pimax 8K and 5K Plus to the Oculus Rift, for example, which was quite a cool thing, because all the impressions and you know those they got quite crazy reactions when they went back to the Oculus Rift and they saw the narrow field of view. It was just really crazy feeling to just see those people. You just felt like this is what I try to tell you all the time when I was talking about Pimax. The huge difference, not only going from the Oculus Rift to Pimax, or from the HTC Vive to Pimax, but also going back from the Pimax back to Oculus. I think that difference is even more huge and even more like crazy. It's like, what just happened with the field of view? It's even more smaller on the Oculus Rift now. So I'm going to include some of that captures, some of those impressions in the video later on this week. We tried just a few games. It was a Project Cars 2 VR. We tried Assetto Corsa. We tried Skyrim, and a few titles which just to see. It was not really a gaming session. It was more just to see the difference with screen door effect, the resolution, the overall latency and stuff, the hertz. I mean, the Pimax 5K Plus is running in 90 hertz while the 8K is running in 80 hertz. And the overall impressions were really good, I would say. I don't think I met any backer there that was not satisfied with the quality. Some people prefer the 8K, some people prefer the 5K Plus, and it's very individual, I would say. And well, I was really having fun just to discuss with the backers, analyze their impressions. And there were also, besides patrons, there were some people like the YouTubers Cass and Shari, for example. I had the chance to meet up with some of my patrons and patron sponsors as well, and yeah, it was really a great experience. But anyway, I will sum this up later on this week in a video where I'm going to include some more impressions, some more interviews, and some more testing results from the backers from this meetup, because I think it's quite interesting for you to know about all this. Meanwhile, you can check out the Pimax forums, because I actually included some videos there from the Pimax on the Pimax forums from this meetup in Houda. So you can check out some of the impressions as well. But yeah, a video of maybe 10 or 15 minutes is going to be more like a sum up of everything, including that interview, which I think is going to be quite interesting to you to hear about. So guys, let's see, I'm just going to check if there's anything that I've missed here. Really... XTAL lab game, please. Well, there's gonna be so much XTAL next year. I promise you guys, there's gonna be so much beta testing and everything, and we have so much other things to also test next year. We're going to have the controllers, the Pimax controllers coming in. I'm going to talk about that in a moment, and also the lighthouses. I mean, we're going to have the Pimax 5K business edition to try it, hopefully very soon. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the beginning of next year. It's going to be so much cool stuff coming up. So yeah, Charles Baldwin, thank you so much for your nice, kind words. I really appreciate it. And Mark Harrington as well. I'm really thankful that you're still keeping the questions for later. I have some more stuff to catch up before we start to talk more about anything that you would like to talk about. So how about jumping into some general Pimax news? I know it's a little bit of a mess lately. Thing is that the production line has been really slow. There's been a lot of faulty units and stuff. But as far as I know, the production line is getting faster now, finally. And according to reports, around, well, more than 1,000 units should be ready now. Produced already or finished. And I think like backers beyond number 400 has got their headsets already. I know there's still some backers with numbers like 200, 250 that haven't received their headset yet, and I don't know really why. It takes so much time, but I know there also has been some troubles with the couriers, all the DHL and PDP and all those, and depending on which courier they chose for you, it's going to take more time before your Pimax arrives. And it's a shame that the whole shipping phase goes so slow, especially in Europe. But yeah, there are some big delays, and we've been really trying to push Pimax to really concentrate on doing those shippings now, the production line and the shippings, because it's time now. They were actually initially promising us to have most of the backers set before Christmas. We know that's not going to happen now because Christmas is just around the corner. So yeah, but if they can really bump up the whole production line and everything now, as they are, well, apparently doing, I really hope that by the end of February, everyone is going to be set, all the backers at least. Then they're also talking about the pre-orders, which are supposed to be sent in like 40 days or so. And I kind of doubt that. I don't know. I'm really not sure if they will be able to actually bring the pre-order units earlier than March or something. So yeah, there's a lot of question marks right now regarding Pimax. And yeah, while I do not have any much details, I still holding my thumbs or will cross my fingers for all of you to get that headset as soon as possible. Also, there's one more thing that I actually expressed my feelings about, especially in the Pimax forums. It was not long ago. Pimax decided, or the Pimax PR department decided to send out review units to some YouTubers already now in this early stage. And you saw the whole concern about it. This is not about having exclusivity on YouTube. I mean, I've been having the Pimax headsets for months now. So I would love to see all other YouTubers use it as well right now. But if backer 200 is still waiting for their headset and Pimax decides to just like throw out like dozens of units to other, well, non-backer YouTubers and PR thing, I'm not sure if that's a great idea. Let me know what you think, because I think it's kind of unfair. If I was backer 200 really waiting for my Pimax before Christmas, and then you suddenly see people like Natey and other people that were really not involved in the whole Pimax thing from the start, that they were not backers and so on, they were starting to get these units now. And it just feels a little bit salty, I think. Maybe I sound salty now, but I think it's just not fair. And I told my feelings about this to Pimax, and yeah, but I think it's done already. So yeah, nothing we can do about it. But let me know what you think about this, because I think that they should concentrate on the backers. First of all, get all the backers set, at least with the headsets. I mean, we can talk about the lighthouses and controllers and everything later on, but please just give the backers all their headsets so they're happy. We've been waiting for like more than a year now. It's crazy. So yeah, there's been some discussions with Pimax about that. I've been emailing back and forth. So hopefully they start to understand this is getting quite serious now. We want to have all backers set. and then we can start with all the pre-orders and so, because there are probably a couple of thousands pre-orders. I don't know how many, but there are probably many pre-orders. VR Gimp is asking me about ASW for Pimax. No news whatsoever. No news about ASW, no news about Brain Warp, nothing yet. I really hope they're gonna add that soon. Yeah. I hope they're working on this, but they have so much things to work on, and the team is maybe like 200 people. I'm not sure if they can really catch up with everything they have promised, but I'm still crossing my fingers that they can make it, because it's still my favorite headset, and it's still something I want every backer to have now, like tomorrow. So yeah. Also, by the way, out of nowhere, you can of course leave your questions at the live stream chat on my Patreon. What? No, not Patreon. The Discord server that I have. So join my Discord server, jump into live stream chat, and you can you can leave your questions there, and I will try to reply to every one of you very, very soon in a moment. Nice to see you guys, Skid Row, Joe Black OF, and F-Man. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Yes, it's salty. Backers should get it first. We took the risk. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say, F-Man. I really, really agree on this. We took the risk. We put a lot of money into this. I mean, I put $1,400 into this. I know there are backers that put much more than this into their pledges. I mean, not only for the headset, but also the base station, the controllers and everything. And if they have like at least a few hundreds of headsets available to ship, please ship them to the backers and not to like a PR newspapers or stuff. I mean, we have reviews, and I mean, people have pre-ordered the units, right? People know a lot about those headsets already now, thanks to my review, to MRTV's, Sebastian's review, and the Thomas review, and there's been a lot of new reviews coming in on Pimax forums lately. So I'm not sure if we really need more of the reviews right now, especially not now, since the software still needs improvement. There's still no bright level or brightness adjustment. There's still no different hertz adjustments. We can have like 60 hertz, and I think some YouTubers and some people could get a little bit more negative about it, because they have no real experience with Pimax, and if they see what they see right now, as it is right now, they could get a little bit disappointed, while the backers are actually more prepared for what they get, because most backers, I think, are more has been more into the whole process of development of Pimax, and they know what they can expect from this product, while others maybe not. So yeah. F-Man, I really, really agree on this. Backers first. Push the Button is asking about gamma correction on PyTool yet. No, nothing yet. I've asked actually. There is a new version of PyTool, which is version 91. I just tested it very shortly. It has fixed some initial startup issues, some problems that some backers or some of the early Pimax receivers has had with some error messages while installing the PyTool and they also changed the resolution again for PyTool 1.0, 1.5 and everything. And I hate that. I don't know why they're changing the resolution. Please keep the resolution as it is, because all the tests I'm making, all the benchmarks I've made in the past, they're just going to be obsolete, because we cannot use them as a reference point anymore. If PyTool 1.0 suddenly goes from a resolution of 3000 times 2400 up to 4000 times 3000, then there's not going to be the same benchmark results anymore, not the same performance. So Pimax, if you're listening, please don't touch that resolution. It's good, it's crisp, it's clear, and you have improved the resolution for Pimax 8K as well now, which looks way better than it did before, especially in menus and so don't touch the resolution anymore. I think that's my opinion as well, at least. So yeah, Christian Walken, yes, as Christian said, nope, nothing new available in version 91 except for the resolution change and some minor bug fixes, I think, and Your reviews are very extensive though. Enough. VR game, I know. Well, Martin's review was out of this world. Well, I really love to do those in-depth reviews, and I promise you I will give you more of these on the Oculus Quest. I will give you those reviews, those really in-depth reviews on the XTAL. First of all, the professional version, but also the consumer version coming up whenever it's coming and so. But we're going to be the beta testers, and that's the cool thing about it. We're going to be able to know everything about those headsets before they even arrive to the market or to everyone. Yeah, but talking more about Pimax, there's a lot of faulty units lately being reported from backers, and it worries me a little bit. Even Nate, which is, well, he's not a backer, but he's one of those YouTubers I just mentioned. He got a couple of Pimaxes, and one of these had like a lot of dead pixels or stuck pixels from something kind of in the middle of the vision, and this is not what's supposed to be happening, especially in this early stage. They really need to improve the quality check, and the quality check has been quite poor as far as I understand it. It has only been like a manual quality check where, you know, some kind of tester is just checking if everything looks all right and everything works, and then you're just packing it and sending it to backers. But now, as far as I know, they have announced this in the forums, in the Pimax forums, that Pimax is going to use some kind of special camera, some sophisticated stuff to determine if there are some dead pixels on the headsets, every headset that is going to be sent out. So hopefully this problem with dead pixels, stuck pixels, and like different colors and so between the panels, hopefully all those problems will be gone very soon with upcoming sendings of the Pimax 8K and 5K Plus. I really hope so, because the quality check is really important, and yeah. But at least they have a good Pimax, at least they have a good pixel policy as far as I understand it. If you have a faulty unit with the pixels, stuck pixels or dead pixels, you're going to get a new headset, and you're going to get it, as far as I know, before you even send out your faulty unit. This is what I read on the Pimax forums like a day or two ago. So this sounds great. You can just like report your dead pixels to them. They're going to send you a new unit, and meanwhile or afterwards you can send back your faulty units to them. So there's not going to be like a delay. So you can still like enjoy your Pimax meanwhile while the switch is made, even though you have some dead pixels. So I think that policy sounds very good, and I really hope they're going to keep this promise of this policy, because especially now when I don't know how many backers had faulty units, but it seems to be a few already now. Yes, let's see. Milk Tea is asking, will XTAL become a consumer product? Yes, I cannot share a lot of information with you, but as I said before, XTAL is going to be well, they're working on a consumer level product more aimed for gamers. And without going too much into the details, what I saw and what I heard and what I know about it, it's crazy. So yeah, but we can hope everything is going to be set and everything is going to be starting to be available during next year, 2019. And they are aiming for that at least. So without going into too much into details, yeah, there are going to be two versions of the XTAL, the professional version and also the gamer version, or the home consumer grade version. Push the button, the VR Musketeers, Martin, Sebastian and Thomas. Thanks, man. I really love Sebastian and Thomas because it's so fun to meet them every time, and we got some opportunities to do so already. We have met each other like 4 or 5 times now, and it's gonna be more. We're gonna actually probably go to Prague again sooner or later in the beginning of next year to see some prototypes and stuff. So there's gonna be more stuff happening as well. So yeah, really a nice, cool guys. I love them. Sorry, my voice is a little bit off right now. It's just kind of like getting worse all the time. I'm trying to recover. I'm still not coughing, at least. That's good, because I used to cough a lot lately, even though my flu is gone now. So yes, well, let's move on a little bit more about Pimax before we move on to the Q&A. Leap Motion hand tracking unit. There's been some people asking me about the Leap Motion, what is really happening. A lot of people pledged for it and they haven't received it with the headset. But let me tell you, this is all I know, okay? I talked to Xunshu like 1 week or 1.5 weeks ago, and she told me that they're going to send out review units of the Leap Motion to me and Sebastian and Thomas and probably some other guys. Sorry. And the production is about to be started of those, the mass production is about to be started on those Leap Motion units now. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, they're gonna start to bundle it together to all the backers which are waiting for the Pimax headsets. And for those of you that have already got the headsets, you're gonna probably get the Leap Motion units separately in a smaller box just sent to you. But they're coming, it's coming very soon, and I'm eagerly waiting for the Leap Motion unit because I've sent back the prototype unit that I had with my Pimax M1 beta unit. It was only loaners, so I sent it back, so I don't have it at home even now. I managed at least to squeeze out a little bit of content with the hand tracking when doing a flight simulator, and also with in my Pimax full review. I showed you how it works with one of those, those cat experiences and so, but it's really a great technology. It really works great, above my expectations actually. And I think you are gonna really like the Leap Motion unit. Even though it may not be perfect, but it's still a cool thing for maybe for not all purposes. You probably don't want to exchange your Vive Wands or Pimax controllers for your hands only in Skyrim, for example, but in like VR interaction in some other games, maybe some experiences, maybe some virtual desktop work. I think the hand tracking will be awesome, especially flight simulators, as I showed you before. It really is impressive already now. And as soon as those Leap Motion units arrive, I will start to do videos about it as well, and a full review of just the hand tracking, how it works with Pimax on the 8K and the 5K plus. Another thing that I would like to add is a lot of people have been asking me about the Pimax 5K Business Edition with the OLEDs, as I tried in Berlin, back in Berlin before the full review was even made, the first backer meetup in Berlin. And back then it was far from perfect, it had some issues, but Pimax is promising that those issues will be fixed upon launch. And I think 1 month ago, or maybe like 5-6 weeks ago, I was told that the review units for the 5K Business Edition, the OLED version, is going to be sent out to us reviewers within 2 to maximum 3 months. So it sounds like it's maybe like 1 month, 1.5 month left for those units to arrive to me and Thomas and Sebastian and probably some other guys. So you can expect some great content and reviews coming up from the BE edition as well. Yeah, we'll see when it's going to be, but hopefully sometime at the end of January or the beginning of February. There's so much stuff coming up, happening right now. Just as the Pimax controllers, we were actually supposed to get the first prototypes of the Pimax controllers sometime during Q1 or first quarter of 2019 to test them, to beta test them before they can be launched for all the backers and pre-orders and everything. Same for the base stations, which I really hope is going to be ready very soon, because base station doesn't really need any beta phase. It's just supposed to work. I mean, just mount them and you're just supposed to be working. And Pimax were actually promising us the first base stations to be sent already this year, but that's of course not going to happen. But hopefully in January at least we can have the first units of the base stations, the Pimax base stations, which will be Lighthouse 2.0 technology or SteamVR 2.0 tracking, which will also of course work with the XTAL. I have to add though, if I just go back to XTAL for a second, if I just show you this, XTAL is actually working with SteamVR tracking 2.0, but it's also working with SteamVR tracking 1.0. The cover on top of the XTAL, as you can see, meanwhile I'm talking here right now, is something you just clip on, and it's fully supporting both methods, but the only thing that needs to be done is some software changes, or probably just some switch to change in the software if you're using SteamVR tracking 1.0 or 2.0. So as far as I know, we will not need to buy new lighthouses and controllers just to use the XTAL headset. So yes, what more, guys? Furthermore, as I said, new PyTool version is out. I think there's not much of news into the PyTool 19.1, so I'm not going to do any video about it. I'm still waiting for another bigger update for the Pimax, and then I will do a second episode of my Pimax for Dummies or whatever. You know, that first episode I made with some tricks, with some hints, maybe some new benchmarks, and you know, my my recommendations for you. Before we move on to the next topic, I would just like to add something that I haven't added yet, I think, not publicly. The Pimax, oh, by the way, sorry, Stark's Beard, thank you so much for your super chat, I really appreciate it. Backer 280, $1,500 and still no tracking, not happy, wow. Well, this is what I'm talking about, man. I'm really, it just feels so wrong that some backers have still not received it, even though you have such a low number. I really hope it's on its way. Do you live in Europe, by the way, or do you live in the United States or so? Because it just depends so much of which company is actually, or which courier is actually shipping those units. It can, for some people, it can take like 5 days. For some people, it can take like 5 weeks. It's crazy. So yeah, I really hope this is gonna get better, the whole shipment part, the process, because we want all backers to be set. But meanwhile, thank you so much again for your super chat, Stark Beards. I really appreciate it. But meanwhile, there was some stuff. When I got my final units of the Pimax 5K Plus and the 8K, I did not get the extra flaps that I was supposed to get, that Robin actually promised us to get. So there are still no extra flaps. So as you can see, the whole space between here is quite big, and for some people with small noses, the gap is of course even bigger. So yeah, I don't know when they were supposed to send out those nose flaps, but hopefully that's going to be soon. And also another thing, which kind of struck me, is that the proximity sensor is now gone. There is no proximity sensor on either the Pimax 5K Plus nor the 8K, which is really strange. Even though, well, I don't need the proximity sensor, but that was something that was there in the first version, I mean in the beta versions of the Pimax 8K, and then they just suddenly removed it for some reason. And yeah, I just found it a little bit strange. But anyway, well, we'll see how the Pimax development is going to go. Also, Pimax is going to be at the CES, the exhibition in Las Vegas next year in January. And I was actually invited by Pimax to be there with them, do some, well, show off of Pimax and so. But I actually told them no for 2 reasons, or well, maybe 1 reason, because I was not allowed to take days off on my work. But I also was a little bit concerned about the fact that I don't want to be the promotional guy of Pimax. I don't want to be like a, you know, the even though I can really hype up the Pimax, I can really recommend it to everyone because it is the best headsets on the market, both of these, both 8K and 5K Plus. But still, I don't want to be that puppet to stand there at CES for 2 or 3 days and just like, hey, this is Pimax, look at this. No, because I'm not working for them in the end. I'm just like, I'm beta testing the product. I review their products. I'm giving them, I mean, my opinions and recommendations and everything. But I'm not a PR guy for Pimax. So I kind of felt from the start that the whole purpose of going to CES just felt wrong. It's another thing doing those Pimax backer meetups when I actually, there is a purpose of meeting all the backers, talk to them, interact with them, show them off the headset. I mean, the backers are I don't need to promote the units to backers because they already have invested into it. They want to make sure that those units are great. And that's what I love with those Pimax backer meetups. But in terms of just being at CES, just promoting Pimax, it just feels like it's not me. So yeah, that was one of those 2 reasons why I actually told them no. But the second one, my full-time job just was telling me, nope, Martin, you're not going to Las Vegas in January, you need to work. So yeah, here's the whole truth. But anyway, MRTV Sebastian and Voodoo D Thomas are going to be there in Las Vegas. So they're going to report from there, probably with some live streams, maybe some content. So if you want to meet them up over there, please do so, and subscribe to their channels as well, MRTV and Voodoo D, some great German guys. Yeah, anyway, there's also going to be some more backer meetups soon, especially in Europe, as far as I know, and I will try to attend them because I love those backer meetups. So whenever it's going to be in London or Barcelona or Turkey or wherever, I hope I will be there with you guys. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I think we have talked enough about Pimax now. I think we're going to move on and talk a little bit about my channel before I started to reply to your questions, guys. Thing is, it's going slow. You have seen me, it's going slow. There's been like 4 videos in 1 month or less, even less than that, mainly because of my flu, all the trips I've made. But also there is another problem that I recently discovered. Guys, I made a poll on my community tab on YouTube under my channel, and I asked my audience, you guys, what you think about my channel, what I should change, what I should improve, and so. And I got so many replies, not only on the poll, but also, I mean, individual suggestions and comments and everything. It was like 200, 300 or something comments. It was crazy, and I'm so thankful for all your feedback. It really helps me a lot. And the thing is here, it was a little bit shocking to me because a lot of people were telling me that there's been too much Pimax lately. And yeah, I know I've been covering Pimax, well, kind of most of the time, because I gotta admit, it's the headset that I'm using like 99% of the time, except for when I'm just doing some comparisons, like I did with the last video with the Samsung Odyssey. But I know for some of you, Pimax may not even be interesting. You're not a backer, you're not a pre-order guy. So I know it could be frustrating, and you may think it's a little bit too geeky and too much benchmarks, too much geeky stuff, too much Pimax overall. And you want me also to go back to regular gameplays and so. And I can just tell you, yes, I will try. I have listened to all of you guys. I have memorized and really like noted some of you guys' feedback, because I think it was great, really awesome feedback. And I will try to adapt into this and really mix up my channel a little bit more. Not only do reviews and benchmarks and testings and Pimax content, but also just regular gameplays, just some regular hint videos, some short tutorials, whatever. Just fill it up. And that probably will make my channel to have some more content, because lately I've been really like spending days and days on each video. I mean, the last Pimax and versus Odyssey benchmark video, it took me like 5 days. I think it was like 5 full days to really make. It may not look like professionally made or even that complicated, but believe me, doing those benchmarks and then doing them side by side, trying to sync them up, do all the, I mean, the graphs and everything, the numbers, and so it takes so much time of me. And I want to continue to do those. I will do those, but I will not only do those. I will do some more regular stuff as well. I promise you, some gameplay, some crazy shit like VR horror games, and maybe some more car simulator, or I mean city car driving, right? That's still my most popular video I've ever made, above 500,000 views actually now. So I will do more of this as well, because I know a lot of you has missed that from me. Also, there is another thing, and that is that, yeah, I still want to do some more GTX 1080 Ti versus 2080 Ti benchmarks, because soon I need to like sell my 1080 Ti, because I need that money, of course. While it's still hot, I still want to send it, but I'm going to try to keep it for a couple of weeks more to just do some more benchmarks. And also, I have this, you probably know about this one, the i9 9900K processor is not even unboxed. It's still like inside of there, it's still in the box. And I know it's just, I had it for like 1 month soon, I think. And I think it's going to be some cool, interesting content, especially for you VR simulator freaks and fanatics, to see the difference in Explain 11, in Digital Combat Simulator, and so between the 8700K and the 9900K. But also I'm going to do some regular gameplays and so telling you the difference in performance between those processors. I don't think that the difference is going to be that huge. For me, this is why I even bought the i9. It was mainly because I'm recording stuff at the same time, and this will really help me with the performance. Also, the video editing is the huge part of it. This will kind of like give me the double performance and faster encoding, faster rendering and everything. But for gaming in general, I don't think that i9 is going to do much at all, to be honest. So yeah, let's see. Let's see if you have any questions. Joe Black OF, hi Martin, do you still recommend the 5K plus for Skyrim, not the 8K? Well, for a game like Skyrim, yes, I would say yes. But the difference between those two heads start getting smaller and smaller, I would say, lately. Because the rendering pipeline or the rendering resolution or whatever they're doing, the scaling for the 8K is really improving, I think, for almost every version of Pytool. And last time I actually checked the Pimax 8K, just doing, I mean, regular Pytool 1.0, I was quite impressed at how good it looked, even in SteamVR dashboard with the menus and text. I mean, it's not going to be the same thing as the 5K Plus with that extra clarity, but it's still very close to it now. It's getting closer and closer. So it's all individual. I'm not going to tell you that go for the Pimax 5K Plus. Go to a backer meetup if possible and make up your mind for yourself, because the opinions are just so switched, or is not so splitted between people. I think in Gouda or wherever it's called in Amsterdam last time at the backer meetup, there were so many people actually liking the 8K more than the 5K Plus, and that almost made me a little bit surprised. But I fully understand and I fully accept that some people actually prefer the 8K for the 5K. Your VR tricks for Explain were great. Thank you so much, Captain Moose. I'm happy to hear that. Talenteki, get a Ryzen 3000 to review with VR. Well, maybe that will happen, but it's quite expensive to buy all that stuff just for a few videos. So yeah, we'll see about that. There's so much coming next year. I mean, Oculus Quest, for example, and so I might need to save up some money for that before I go for another processor or GPU. Now I have the 2080 Ti and also the i9 processor, and I think I'm set for the upcoming months for now. I wish I could just buy the AMD stuff as well, just to do some benchmarks, but it's, you know, I'm not big on YouTube, so I don't get sponsored from AMD yet, nor Intel for that matter either. So it's difficult to really make those comparisons unless I buy all this stuff, and it's expensive. So yeah, let's see. Starkbeard, thank you so much again for your super chat. I really appreciate that, man. You don't have to. Thanks. And 9900K didn't make much difference in DCS with 5K. Oh, so you already have that. Wow. All right, that's interesting. I was actually expecting some more bump in the frame rate, especially with Digital Combat Simulator and Explain 11, just because those games are quite CPU demanding. But that was a bummer. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to do those videos soon. Hopefully it's going to be at least playable. And it is playable somehow. I mean, yeah. But I can agree that we need ASW or some kind of motion reprojection, the brain warp, whatever, to really enjoy those flight simulators with Pimax. And yeah, as far as I know, I don't know anything about some kind of motion projection with XTAL either. So we'll see if they're going to implement that. If not, then we're going to have the same thing here. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Guys, I think we're going to just jump into the Q&A and AMA questions now, because I don't think I need to mention anything more about the Pimax or the XTAL now. If you have any questions, of course I'm going to talk about that. We're going to try not to make this live stream for too long, but we are more than an hour into it already, but hopefully that's okay. Anyway, Miguel Lopez, any word on Pimax eye tracking? Well, Nope, nothing at all, to be honest. I'm a little bit concerned that, yeah, I'm not sure if they are really working on it even yet. It's like they have the headsets first of all to make, then the Leap Motion hand tracking, they have the scent unit, all the accessories, the controllers first of all, and then the eye tracking, and then the wireless unit. I don't know, there's just so much plans with Pimax, and I don't really know if they are really there to make those fulfill those promises to us yet. We'll see. Well, I hope so, but I'm getting more and more skeptical the more I see the whole development of the of how slow everything goes. That's frustrating to see, actually. Dennis Vandermecht. Yeah, sorry for the pronouncing. Will XTAL also need a supercomputer? Pimax loses to Odyssey Plus because of the specs needed. Well, as I told you before, XTAL is using a native resolution of 1440p when using SteamVR super sampling at 100%, while Pimax is using a much higher resolution to render the game itself. So the reported resolution in SteamVR is actually pure 1440p, which is kind of a big difference. I mean, going from 2560 to 2560 times 1440 to, let's say, 3000 times 2400 with just normal field of view, not even large field of view, which is even a higher resolution. I think that the performance with the XTAL will be better because you're using a lower resolution without actually getting a lower image quality. It's actually better in terms of clarity and sharpness and everything. So a supercomputer, no, but you're still gonna need a good computer, of course. If you can run most games well with the Vive Pro, I think you will be able to run most games well on the XTAL as well. But in terms of simulators, it's simulators. You know, it's like playing Project Cars 2, as we did on the XTAL meetup, the visit in Prague now. It was still running in maybe like 50, maybe 60 frames per second or something. I was not really tweaking the settings, so I'm not sure if we could actually lower some of the settings, but it was not that high on the settings, and no in-game super sampling. It was still far from full 70 frames per second. So simulators will probably need a really monster computer, yes. But that's the same thing for Vive Pro if you're not using the motion or projection. What really helps with the Vive Pro now, and the Oculus Rift, of course, and all the Vive and the Samsung Odyssey headset, is the thing that you can use motion reprojection, and that really helps double up the frame rate. Everything looks smooth. So yeah, so anyway, let's see. Matt Wagner wrote in a newsletter that they keep in deep consideration VR, and they're working on several VR performance games for DCS. Let's see. Simone Naldoni is telling us that. Well, yes, and I'm actually really hoping, and I'm going to push for that actually, to have DCS developers work together with the XTAL guys and also with Pimax. But I really hope there's going to be some kind of a cooperation. There's been some discussion about this. I'm not allowed to talk much about it yet, I think. But I think both Pimax and XTAL is going to need to have that cooperation with those developers to really improve the performance and the image quality together with the developers of those simulators to really optimize them for best performance, best image quality. Even though I have to say, when I played it on the Digital Combat Simulator and X-Plane on the XTAL, it was just amazing. It was the best experience I've seen. It was, I mean, if it looks great on the Pimax, which it does, it looks absolutely stunning on the XTAL. And that's a lot thanks to the screen door effect, the better, I mean, OLED panels, of course, as we know that the XTAL is using. So yeah, I really hope that there's going to be some kind of cooperation here. I'm going to push for that as well. I'm going to talk to the developers as well. And I mean, I'm talking with both Pimax and XTAL about this right now, currently, since a few days ago actually. So yeah, we'll see about that, and you're totally right about this. MQ, hi SteamVR, could you tell me if the XTAL headset designed to compete with or outperform the Pimax headset? I think they're going to compete with Pimax, of course, especially with the gaming unit. I mean the consumer grade product, which is kind of like unknown for everyone right now. I just know some stuff about it. I'm not allowed to talk about it. So I guess they're going to compete with Pimax, of course, but outperform, well, I would say, yeah, if they keep the quality I just saw at the XTAL meetup, the invitation I got, I mean, in Prague. So yeah, it's outperforming Pimax quite clearly in terms of screen door, in terms of resolution, clarity, colors, black levels, most of it. And I mean, there are no God rays at all on those lenses. There's like custom lenses, they're like freaking perfect. And the distortion was non-existent. So yeah, so when that product is finally out, it's probably gonna outperform Pimax, well, no doubts about that. But what price XTAL is aiming for, we don't know that yet. It's going to be cheaper, of course. It's going to be cheaper than the business unit, the current unit that they're already selling for 4,900 euro. I hope they're going to aim for something below 2,000 at least. Let's hope so. I'm a little bit worried it may not cost the same as a Pimax, because the Pimax is really, really cheap if you think about it. I mean, if you consider how much improvements there are compared to the Vive Pro, and so I'm not sure if the VR engineers will be able to do such a cheap unit. I know $700 is not cheap, but it's still a lot of technology for that price. And I'm not sure if XTAL will be able to do that better. Let's hope so. And as far as we know anything, and we will be able to talk about it, we will let you know. Me, Sebastian, and Thomas, of course. So yeah, Rage for VR. Hi SteamVR, just got in. I'm back at 5,956. Do you think I'll get my Pimax before 2020? Before 2020? Yes, of course you will. I'm totally sure about that. I'm not sure though which month. I really hope that if they just keep the production line that they are aiming for right now, that most of the backers, or not all of them, will be set before March, or maybe at the end of March or something. I don't know. I don't get that information from Pimax actually, so I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But 2020, that's far off, man. It's more than a year from now. So you don't have to worry. It's going to take so much time. So yeah, but it's a funny question, to be honest. One could actually assume it's going to take one more year, but I think they're going to wrap this up as soon as all the couriers and everything's shipping all those units are going to get more used to it. And if they found better couriers, maybe, because the shipment is what takes more time right now than more than the mass production at the moment. That's the biggest problem. Yes, let's see. Let's move on. Train, I'm new on your channel, coming from Sebastian and Thomas. What's special about your channel in comparison to the others? Wow. First of all, welcome to my channel. I really appreciate for being here. Well, what should I say? I'm geeky. I'm very geeky. I'm a little bit more geeky than the others, maybe, if I have to be like special in some way. I do stuff very in depth. If you have seen my Pimax videos, my reviews in general, all the hints and tutorials videos also, you see I'm going almost too in depth on everything. And yeah, that may be something that makes me different. I don't know. But still, I think we're all on the same page. Me, Sebastian, MRTV Sebastian, and Voodoo D Thomas. If you like their content, I hope you're going to enjoy mine as well. Thank you for being here, by the way. So yes, let's see. I'll be posting videos of 60th degree of freedom with Pimax 5K this week in Digital Combat Simulator. If anyone is interested, set notification. Stark's Bear, that's great. I really look forward to see those videos actually. I'm gonna do some more DCS videos soon as well, especially more comparisons, benchmark with the new processor and stuff. And as you have the 9900K, as far as I understand it, it's gonna be some very interesting stuff, so we can compare each other's results as well. So, well, let's see, we have some questions more here. Push the button. Do you think XTAL can deliver the headset, or would it be like Pimax? I think this is a very good question, because I would say that Pimax, or well, let me start with XTAL. I would say XTAL is it feels more organized. This feels like a more, not serious, I mean, both companies are serious, of course, but XTAL is just more, it feels more professional. It feels like they know how to handle things. That's my first initial impression that I got, especially while being in their office and seeing their lab and everything. Everything is just so structured. How do you say that? It's just so perfectly set up, and you know, everything they make, the software, the testing, and everything. It's just, I think they're gonna make those units and send them out faster than Pimax is doing right now. I think they can handle the whole production line and shipment a bit more professional, and I really hope so also. But if that's going to happen, we don't know yet. But that's my initial feeling, just that it just feels very, very professional, very sophisticated company. And I'm really impressed with what they have done so far. And those things they're up to right now is just crazy. They're just like one of a kind, nothing I've seen ever before. And yeah. So let's hope, we're crossing our fingers now and hope this is gonna work out. Let's see, more questions. Oh, Arnold Sue, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it, man. Can I play and what with Pimax when I get it? I am backer 6,000 something. I believe it will come without the base stations and controllers. Can you make a video about it? Yes, I actually mentioned that in my full Pimax review and some other videos as well. You could, of course, use the Pimax 8K and 5K Plus without any controllers, without the base stations. So you can just use the gyro tracking, which is built in into the headset. It's not really inside-out tracking, it's just like a gyro-based tracking. And I tried that with the simulators mainly, like the Project Cars 2. I tried it with Digital Combat Simulator, Aerofly FS2, the flight simulator, and the IL2 as well, as far as I remember. And it works. I mean, it works. You're gonna get the, if you have the headset on, you're gonna have the rotational tracking, so you can rotate, look up, look down, and so even lean your head like this, but you will not be able to like move around in the VR space like this. If you just do like this, you're still going to be in the same spot during your gameplay. So for simulators, or maybe games like even Moss, for example, Lucky's Tale, where you actually do not need to move your head, you can just like pan around and move around your head, that's fully perfect to just use Pimax without any base stations or controllers. So yeah, don't worry about that. And until then, I mean, you're backer 6,000. Let's hope that the lighthouses will be available at least until then, when your unit is about to get shipped. And if you have pledged for the base stations and controllers, which I'm not sure if you have, but if you have a pledge for the base stations and they're already available by the time your headset is ready, they're going to be shipped, probably bundled together with the base stations. So let's hope so. But there are hundreds probably of games you can play, and especially simulators you can play without the lighthouses and the controllers. You can play with the gamepad, or racing wheel, joystick, whatever. I mean, there's so many possibilities. And all the Vorpex games, for example, or Vorpex supported games, just like Fallout 76, as I showed you before, and other simulators, Fallout 4 VR with Vorpex. So yeah, you will probably not get bored out, even though you don't have any lighthouses or controllers yet. Yes, Krzysztof Jankowski. I'm Polish, by the way, so I know how to say Krzysztof, right? Is the impression of immersion in XTAL much bigger than the Pimax 5K Plus? Well, I cannot talk about the immersion yet right now. There are some bits that are actually under kind of an NDA. They're kind of confidential yet while running games in SteamVR. And there are some small stuff that needs to be fixed and corrected. So I'm not going to talk more about immersion here, but the quality is crazy. It's crazy. The quality difference is huge. So once everything is perfect, which will be for sure by just some software adjustments, it's gonna get more immersive. And also I would say, yes, in terms of screen door effect, it feels more immersive already now with the screen door effect and the clarity of the panels. It almost felt like looking through a window. It was crazy. For me it was, at least. And I have a perfect vision, and I doubt that, I really don't think that you will ever get bothered about any screen door effect with the XTAL. And it's quite crazy because it is a headset still using 4040p resolution. I have to add something though, that I actually shared with my patrons this weekend when I was in Prague. This is not confidential as far as I know. I know Voodoo.de, Thomas actually tested that a while ago also on his, he did a video about that when he were at the Prague office a while ago. And the thing is that they have like a board with 4 different panels, like 1440p, 3 of them, and one of them is a 4K panel. And you could try their lenses, their new lenses, with each panel to see the difference. And I can tell you that just switching between the lenses makes such a huge difference. It's so crazy. We actually had some regular Fresnel lenses very similar to the Vive and the Vive Pro lenses, and when I switched to them, everything looks so much more bad and low resolution than it did with the custom made XTAL lenses. And it's quite crazy how big difference it is between a lens and a lens, if you can say it that way. And also there was a 4K display there, which I tried with the latest version of the XTAL lens, and it was crazy. This was really like looking through a window. There's no way you can see any screen door effect. There is no way you can see any pixels. There was like crazy. And that was 4K actually. People were talking actually about that, oh, you will need 16K to really get that out of the window experience. I would say it's bullshit, because with that 4K panel, if they can make a headset like this with 4K panel someday, I don't know when yet, I mean, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna get better than this, I think. I mean, not so we can really see that it gets better. With 4K resolution is perfect already. With the current 1440p resolution and their current XTAL, it's almost perfect. And Pimax is almost perfect. It's still good. It's better than Vive Pro. It's better than Samsung Odyssey, but it's still, there's like a gap in between there between Pimax and the XTAL. And this, I think that's the magic of the lenses. They really make a huge difference, and the utilization of the panels is crazy. Rage for VR, SweetViver, do you think the 5K plus or 8K for iRacing? I saw your great review, but still unsure. I would say that both of these headsets are going to work great with the iRacing. You will probably get slightly more crisp and sharp dials on all the the gauges in your racing cockpit, however it's called, inside of your car. The instruments, they're going to be slightly more sharp on the 5K because of the pixel pattern, but the difference is minimal. And I remember when I played iRacing last time, it's super sharp. Actually, there is something about the rendering with the iRacing. It's actually the SteamVR super sampling is not affecting the iRacing resolution in VR. So they're probably using a very high resolution rendering from the start already. So on both of these headsets, it's going to look great. And I am still supposed to do an iRacing video, just like a dedicated iRacing video, and I will do so. Same for the Elite Dangerous, same for more X-Plane, more DCS, more IL2. There's going to be more, and I'm going to try to do them more frequently now. I mean, I've been off for quite a long time, but there's going to be videos about that for sure, especially iRacing and a lot of other racing simulators as well. So yes, let's see. I want to see more questions here. Can anyone answer questions as SteamVR has ignored me? Oh, Dennis Carlson, I'm sorry for ignoring you. I have probably missed you. Do the Pimax headsets drift when they use it without the lighthouses? Does it need calibration now and then? Well, I haven't felt any drifting, Dennis. I haven't felt any drifting at all, but I know that a lot of times you need to reposition your seating position when you're like jumping into a car in Project Cars, and that's quite easy. You just take the Vive controller, you just jump into the dashboard, go into settings, and then recalibrate sitting position, and it's going to recalibrate you, well, as long as you're looking straight forward, and it just works this way. So not a biggie. I wouldn't say it's a big problem, but of course it's not that perfect as it is when using lighthouses, but still you can fully enjoy the Pimax without any drifting, as far as I know. I haven't seen any drifting. I know what drifting means. When I know people have had this problem with the Pimax 4K, the old Pimax headset, and there are some problems with that with other headsets without 6 degrees of freedom or even 3 degrees of freedom. But yeah, don't worry about the drifting. I don't think that's an issue. I haven't seen that yet, at least. Oh, by the way, Armin Norris, thank you so much for joining. Nice to see you, man. One of my Patreon sponsors. It was a long time ago I saw you. I really hope I can see you soon again. So yeah, let's see. VR GIMP. Look up the optics used in GDA FPV goggles. The optics allowed for 80 degrees field of view with 100% panel utilization, which give 100% resolution. HMD are all about optics. Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And this is what XTAL is doing right now at the moment also. Those lenses are much smaller than Pimax lenses, really smaller. They're not even round, they're more like quadrant, or what do you call it, like rectangular. But somehow they managed to squeeze out like almost 180 degrees, and the lenses are quite thick as well. I cannot go into details how thick they are, but they are way thicker than usual lenses actually. So yeah, the utilization, the panel utilization makes a huge difference. And 1440p resolution is not a low resolution in VR, definitely not, but it's all about how you utilize it with the optics. And here's where XTAL is really making a big jump from, for example, Pimax 8K and 5K plus, because those panels that Pimax uses is not bad. They're not bad at all, but we are actually we're losing a lot of that. Well, not a lot, but it's like 20 degrees or 20% something on the sides, and maybe 10 or 15% on top and the bottom part. And that makes everything a little bit more zoomed in or magnified. And of course the pixels will grow. And yeah, Secure Access Locksmith, thank you so much for your super chat. I'm a pre-order 5K. If they're making far more 5K than 8K, I will swap to 8K. Do you think I'll get one faster? I'm actually not sure about that. I know that the majority of the backers are switching to the 5K from their 8K pledge. And I think that the majority of the pre-orders are also 5K. Not only because it's $200 cheaper than the 8K, but also because all of the reviews and all of our recommendations, mine and Sebastian's and Thomas. So I think it should make any difference. I think Pimax has already sent out those emails asking for which headset you want for backers, up to number like 3,000 or something, or 4,000 even. So they are really trying to investigate how many 8Ks they're going to need and how many 5Ks they're going to need. So they're probably already, well, adopting the production line based on how many 5K there actually are needed versus the 8K. So I don't think you're going to get your unit faster than switching to the 8K or switching to, well, yeah, you wanted to switch from the 5K plus to the 8K. I think if you care about the clarity, if you care about what has been said in the reviews and everything, I think you should stick with the 5K. Do not go for the 8K just because you think you get it earlier. You might get disappointed, even though I'm still saying that the 8K is a great unit. But if I get any more details about that, I will let you know. But right now, as far as I know, they are adapting the amount of produced or manufactured 5K plus versus the 8K, depending on how much of those units are actually ordered and backed. So yeah, VR Ambassador, thanks for joining, man. One of my Patreon sponsors, long time ago. I haven't seen you, man. Let's pursue on this next journey to make another VR headset great again. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. And the thing is that Roland, his name is, by the way, VR Ambassador. Yeah, man, listen, I'm really looking forward to this, because this is just not only a big thing for me, of course, being a part of the development of the XTAL. I mean, both the current unit that we're gonna like optimize for SteamVR, but also the next unit, which is gonna be mind-blowing, I can already tell you that. But it also, for the whole VR industry, for the whole VR development, it just feels so nice to be a part of it. And I'm quite honored to be asked by the VR Engineers team to actually be a part of this. I'm very thankful for that. So yeah, I'll do my best once again, just like we did with the Pimax, because I think we made some huge improvements to the Pimax during those beta months, and we can probably do even more with the XTAL now when we have more experience with all this. And the XTAL team, or the VR Engineers, which is behind the XTAL headset, they are some really skilled guys. They know what you're doing, and when they see some problems, they can just fix it on the fly. While we were there in the Prague, actually, we saw a small problem, and they could basically like code the rendering pipeline on the fly and make a new iteration of the firmware, like just like in a few minutes, and then uploaded it to the headset, and it's like, oh, Martin, try out the new one. Let's see if that's better now. And I was like, wow, this is like freaking crazy. I'm not used to that. So yeah, we have some great potential here with XTAL, without saying too much, but they know what they're doing. So even though Pimax know what they're doing as well, I mean, they have brought us some great headsets still. But the whole progress I think is going to go much faster with XTAL, thanks to their way of doing things, business, everything. So anyway, really nice to see you guys in here. There's so much guys here. Skid Row, VR Maniac, Jeno or Jens Netram. Nice to see you, man. Hey Martin, do you think we will be very envious of the XTAL when we have the 5K plus? Well, I think here's the point. I think the Pimax is more than enough for most of the people here, for most of the VR enthusiasts, for the VR, well, casual players and gamers. But I would say that XTAL is going to bring us to a new level in some terms, which I'm not allowed to talk about, and it will improve things in a lot of ways. But meanwhile, I don't think you need to think that, oh man, I just have the Pimax, or oh well, I'm gonna have to wait. Enjoy Pimax for what it is right now, or Vive Pro, or wherever you have, and sooner or later this technology and everything that XTAL is going to use, I think this is going to be like a mainstream technology sooner or later. So this is like a part of the whole development with VR. It's progressing, and it's progressing massively right now. I mean, everything in terms of, I mean, the lenses, the panels, everything, the field of view, it's getting crazy now. And even though we have some bad news about the STAR VR lately, that everything is put on hold. We cannot even order that. Voodoo D, the German YouTuber Thomas, actually tried to pre-order order the STAR VR. He was denied, and now everything is just put on hold. But I'm really happy we have the XTAL, which is aiming even further now than SteamVR did. So yeah, but until then, until we really see those full reviews of the XTAL headset, enjoy your Pimax, man. This is what I'm doing as well now. I would say the first months of the XTAL testings and everything is going to be like a race with a lot of hurdles, you know, and obstacles and stuff. There are always problems in the beginning. There are always things that needs to be fixed. So meanwhile, while the Pimax already is getting to a stage when it's fully usable, and I mean the distortion, everything is getting improved all the time, and I think Pimax is more than enough right now at least. So until then, don't worry, you don't have to be envious or jealous or anything like that. So yeah, let's see. Suleiman Ali, what is the best value for money VR? Well, the best value for money, I would still say, is like probably, it depends on how picky you are with the quality, but the Oculus Rift bundle is still a lot for the money. Same as for the Samsung Odyssey and the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. I know they were on sale recently during Black Friday. It was a crazy price, like $250 or $300. So that's really value for the money, I would say. I wouldn't say that Pimax is the most value for the money, but you get much more technology for the money. That's why you pay almost the double for it. So if you're just looking for a first headset just to enjoy VR, go for the Oculus Rift or the Oculus Go, even if you just want to experience VR without the room scale, and or the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. Do not go for the Vive Pro. It's just too expensive. There's no point. So yeah, let's see, let's move on. Wow, now the questions are just like raining in. Let's see. Well, my flu is still not gone yet. Well, the flu is gone, but my voice is still not back yet, but I'm trying to improve that. Thenic123, thanks for mentioning that. But XTAL announced their consumer version. How long will it take from conception to release for sale to public? I would say, as far as I know, it should happen like next year. It should happen next year. That's what I know. That's all I can tell you. I mean the production and everything. But if you will be able to get the XTAL consumer version, the gaming version next year, I don't know, but they're supposed to be ready for production during next year, so it really doesn't sound far off. I mean, in terms of the technology you're actually using and the quality and stuff and everything that I would just wish I could show you, it feels like 3 years off, but it's not. They actually have the technology there already. It's crazy. So yeah, hopefully everything will be set for next year, maybe late next year, but still next year. Next up, thank you, Armin. If you've enjoyed my live stream so far, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Yeah, thanks, Armin, for mentioning that. You know, I'm not the guy whining about thumbs up and subscribing. You know, I hardly say to my people to even subscribe to my channel. I don't know. I'm just happy for you being here with me. Subscriber count is just a number. As long as you're here watching my streams and my videos, I'm really happy about that. But thanks, Armin, for mentioning that. I tend to forget about the whole thing about pushing the thumbs up and stuff. Sweeviver, you need to tell XTAL to give much better comfort, counterweight, and butterfly lock system on both sides of the headset, so it doesn't rest on your face anymore. Well, I would say that there are some. It's not as comfortable as Pimax, but it's still they're still improving it all the time. They have actually changed some of the. I'm not sure if you have seen this, but the whole strap. If I just switch to one of those videos, the straps that it's holding it beneath the plastic strap, there's like a tensioned fabric strap as well, and they have shortened it up. So now it's not in the way for like headsets, for example. So it's actually getting more user-friendly. Now you can probably see there when Thomas is using the headset, it is more, it's getting more and more comfortable. But no, it's still not there at Pimax level, and it is more heavy. It's not super heavy, but it is more heavy, to be honest. So yeah, but we don't know yet anything about the consumer part of the XTAL, the consumer version. That one will probably be smaller because that's what they're aiming for. We'll see. Anyway, Telateki, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate that. Wow. Thanks, Martin. Keep us updated on the XTAL. I promise I will do so. I will give you every information you need about the XTAL, and we're going to be the first one giving you that information exclusively. Me, Sebastian, and Thomas, MRTV and Voodoo DE. And also, as soon as all the NDA and everything is released, there's going to be full reviews, just as geeked out, in-depth reviews, just as Pimax, and also gameplay videos, comparisons, benchmarks, all the things that you wish for, and those through the lens videos and photos, macro photos as well. I promise you that. Wow, I missed a super chat here. George, wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Glad to see you on live. Small Christmas bonus for being a good boy this year. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. That's a lot, actually. Thanks, man. And Merry Christmas to you as well. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. I totally forgot to mention it. I mean, it's Christmas. It's like 5 or 6 days off. It's almost here already, but I haven't got the Christmas feeling yet. So I tend to forget all about it. And I'm also working through the whole Christmas. So yeah, I tend to not even think about it much at all. But anyway, George and Telateki, thank you so much, guys, and Merry Christmas to you. And there's going to be more content, maybe some more live stream before Christmas. We'll see, because I'm free from work now until on Monday, on Christmas Eve. I'm going to work again on the 24th. So I'm free now until 23rd, Sunday. So there's going to be both videos covering the XTAL meetup, a little bit short video just showing you some of the stuff. Also the VR Space backer meetup for Pimax backers in Hauda, and some more cool games and reviews and stuff coming up. Hopefully some gameplay. I would like to just do some regular gameplay, maybe some horror game or some other crazy game, because it was such a long time ago and I know you really have been missing that. So yeah. Airways ARA, if you're like sim racing, check the starting Swedish motion company. Okay, I will check it out. Thanks, man. There's a link there. I had to actually manually accept that comment. It was not even visible until now. Quentin Craig, sounds like XTAL is doing something groundbreaking here. SweViver is struggling to talk around it. Maybe driver level foveated rendering or depth of field articulated lenses or something. Well, yeah, I cannot tell you if you're right or not. I cannot go into details because it's really confidential. What I saw there, the last day I was there, I was actually the only one seeing it. I don't think that even Sebastian and Thomas saw it, but what I saw there was definitely groundbreaking. It's crazy, and it's gonna change VR for sure. So yes, this is big stuff coming up. And now I'm not talking about the XTAL professional version that is currently now available, which we tried and so, but I'm talking about the consumer version coming up. And we saw how it's going to look, and so I just wish I could talk, but I cannot, of course. Please respect that. Please, I hope you understand that. It's so exciting. And if you're into VR, if you're like starting up with VR right now, this is like a good time, because now it's really beginning to get where we wanted VR from the first time, you know, in terms of every aspect. It's crazy. So yeah, so let's just hope they're going to keep their promise now, and their plans, they're planning to do all this, but they have the stuff already. I mean, they're working on the prototypes, and so it's crazy. And yeah, it's difficult to talk about something I'm not allowed to talk about, so but yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Let's see, more questions. Let's see. Around 1,000 euro range. Yes, Devin Dijkstra is asking 1K or 2K US dollars. We don't know that yet. We don't know anything about any price point, but the whole purpose of doing a consumer grade gaming VR headset from XTAL is about making it cheaper, of course. I'm not sure if they will be able to make it as cheap as Pimax, which I actually doubt they will, because they're using a far more complex technology in terms of everything, not only the lenses and stuff. So it's probably going to be more expensive, but not to the degree where it's not reasonable anymore. I think it's still going to be reasonable for most people if they really want the best of it. It's like today's TVs. You can get a really cheap TV, 55 inches, and you can get a really top of the notch TV with the same inches, but it's like night and day in the difference. And a lot of people are actually spending the money on the top end because they know they want the best. And I think if you really want the best, you will probably afford this, at least the consumer grade product. It's going to be affordable, not like $5,000, because that's another price level that's kind of unreasonable for a lot of people, unless you're very, very into simulators and maybe you're a pilot in your real life. You probably will like to buy the XTAL, the professional version, because what I saw how it works in simulators is there's nothing like it. Not Pimax, nothing else. So yeah, VR 24/7. Have you tried the game Form on Pimax? Yes, I did actually. I tried it. This was actually quite a long ago. That's the puzzle game Form. Yes, it was not full frame rate, but it was working quite great, fully playable, and it looks very nice. It's quite a dark game as well, but you couldn't even feel the poor blacks or whatever we call it with Pimax. But it is working, so you don't worry about that. Maybe I will cover it sometime later on, but yeah, it works with Pimax. If that's one of your favorite games, you will be for sure be able to play it on your Pimax as well. So let's see, what more do we have? Let's see, what more? Hit me with some questions, guys. I really want to answer more before I end up this live stream. I'm really thankful for you joining. I have seriously no idea how many we are here today in this live stream, but I'm really thankful for you being here right now with me. I know I've been away for quite a long time, and it's just, yeah, it's sad that my channel is kind of going down. Everything is just like gets on hold, you know, when I'm gone, and it's just quite frustrating. But I'm trying to get back on track now, and I for sure will as well. So yeah, let's see, do we have any more questions? Dennis Vandermerch, XTAL sounds so good already, take my money. Well, yeah, I know, I'm telling you the same. I mean, I will for sure buy it, you know. I'm not sure if I will be able to get it. I never expect anything for free, but if those units, if I can get a loaner unit and see what it's all about, and then really get convinced, I'm going to buy it right away, no doubt. Because what I already see now, it's crazy. Cass Berghoff, resolution can't get better than 4K. What a weird statement. Well, let me explain once again. What I told you before is like, we always thought that you need like 8K resolution or even 16K resolution to really see like an out of the windows experience in VR, and that's what I thought as well. But when I tested that 4K lenses, which is, by the way, not used by XTAL, this is just something experimental. They were just like checking different kind of OLED panels, and that OLED panel with the 4K resolution, it looked like out of the window experience. There was no screen door effect whatsoever. I'm not even talking about pixels, I'm talking about pixel pattern. I could not see anything. It was just super sharp. So this is what makes me think that 4K resolution is like I mean, we don't need more than that, I would say. I know Bill Gates once said we don't need more than 640 kilobytes of memory either. And he was very wrong about that. But when I saw that 4K resolution, it was crazy, I must say. And also the XTAL resolution, which is only 1440p, even native, it looked almost perfect. You will never think about the screen door effect with that headset. And not with the business headset, and probably not with the consumer version as well, even though I don't know much about. But I assume they're going to use the same resolution or higher. So it looks crazy, guys. So yeah, that was the whole point of a 4K resolution is really what we want. And I don't think we're going to need more for a good while in VR. Let's move on. Tentic123, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it, man. And also Fredrik Berg. Well, wait a second. Man, I'm trying to catch up here. I just saw. I've totally missed that. Fredrik Berg, thank you so much. Thank you for all your hard work and keep up the wonderful attitude you have. Also, Merry Christmas. Thank you, Fredrik. I really appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you too, and Happy New Year. And also there will be more Merry Christmas cheers later on in the other videos. And I promise I will keep up. And the next year is going to be super, super exciting. And I'm not even talking about Oculus Quest. I mean, we're going to get that Oculus Quest as well. Maybe also the Valve headset. I mean, think about it, how many different headsets and possibilities there's going to be. It's like there's going to be, I think 2019 is going to be a crazy year for VR in general. I mean, not only PC-based VR, but also mobile VR with the Oculus Quest. It's crazy. Fredrik, thanks you so much again. And also, Thenic123, thank you so much. You and Sebastian are helping improve VR for the future. Get better and have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. 2019 for VR will be great. Yes. Thanks, man. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you too. And yes, as I just told you, VR will explode, I think, next year. Not only because we're going to get the Oculus Quest, which will be quite cheap. It could even become mainstream if it's good enough. But also because of the high-end market will going to grow. With the Pimax finally being available for everyone, pre-orders and orders and so. But also the XTAL. And then hopefully Star VR will recover from all this shit they're going through right now. So yeah, there are going to be possibilities. And the Valve headset, I mean, it's just crazy. Anyway, thank you so much. Thenic123, Thenic or Thenic? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. So yeah, let's see. Did they mention anything about wireless technology? You know how it makes a difference. Yes, I know. VR Maniac, do-it-yourself VR channel. I need to check out this channel, guys. By the way, VR Maniac. Well, I don't know anything about wireless technology, to be honest. With the XTAL, I assume you're talking about that. They haven't mentioned anything, and I think it's still far off. Nothing they have even mentioned to me. And then the same goes for Pimax. I mean, they haven't told me anything about the wireless thing for quite a while now. So we can hope for something in 2019. I really hope so. But yeah, I think this is, even though, yes, wireless is the way to go. I love the TPcast. I've never tested the HTC wireless unit, but the TPcast really made the Vive and the Oculus 100 times better. It's so much easier to use and just play around or move around. So at some point we will get wireless devices for this, but I don't think they're going to prioritize that now. I think we just let them just do their work now with the headsets, with the controllers, with all the stuff, and then we can probably see some wireless solutions for all this whenever it's going to be next year or the day after next year, 2020 or something like that. So yeah, SAR and keep up the positive attitude. Thanks, man. I have been I have had some ups and downs lately because my mood, my health, everything, some problems in life, some stressy things going on, and yeah. But VR makes me happy, this community makes me happy, and you're making me happy, guys. So as long as I'm here and as long as I'm able to be here doing content for you, I will be a happy person. And also all the VR development right now, it's crazy. Jed, XTAL wishlist. Can you make sure they build a small fan or some kind of adjustment airstream to avoid fogging and sweating? I miss what that with early headset. Yes, that's actually true. That's something that we will try to push. I mean, it's quite an easy solution. I know Pimax is working on some kind of cheap, simple fans to just connect with the USB, just like the Vive and Chill I have on my HTC Vive. And I don't think that's going to be a huge problem for them to make it working with the XTAL, especially because the XTAL has like many connections. I think it had like totally 4 different USB connections, USB 3 and USB 2 and USB-C, and there are like so many connections. So we're going to be able to connect a lot of things. And I'm still talking about the professional version or the business version of the XTAL right now. And I assume they're going to use kind of the same outputs and all the things on the consumer grade XTAL as well. So yeah, we will push that. We need some fans, we need some airflow, especially summertime. Let's see, on consumer level, profit is bringing with quantity, and that you can reach only with affordable price. Pimax is overpriced. Yeah, I kind of agree to that, Worm Eaten. And the quantity is what makes money. I mean, look at Oculus Go, for example. It's, even though it is a quality headset, it's still, they're pushing it for quality, for quantity, I mean. And yeah, but I don't think Pimax is overpriced. Definitely not for what you get. If you're not a Pimax user, if you have never tested it, you will never understand really what you really get for the money. Because it was not long ago we paid $700, $800, $900 for a regular Vive headset or an Oculus Rift headset. Now we get that field of view and the bumping resolution and everything. It is a huge difference. So for that step in technology, I wouldn't say the Pimax 5K Plus is overpriced with $700. I would say that the 8K could have been cheaper. It's, I mean, $900 or $899. It's a little bit too much, I think, for the 8K. But I guess those 4K panels are more expensive to use. So yeah, we just have to accept that, I guess. Airways ARA. Oh, I think I already actually answered that. Yeah, that was about the comfort and the weight of the XTAL. Yes, I'm going to make sure they make it as good and comfortable as possible, because the comfort was a little bit lacking on the XTAL compared to the Pimax, but that's going to probably change. And also I need to add that the SteamVR cover that you just put on the clip on, the SteamVR tracking thing that you can put on and take off and just connect it with a cable underneath the headset, it's kind of weightless. It's just like 3D printed or 3D made with in plastic, and it's very lightweight, so it doesn't add kind of not many grams to the weight of the headset, and not in terms of comfort either. It's not going to destroy the comfort. It's going to be a little bit more bulky because the plastics are just like sticking out a little bit more. But yeah, but still, it's a fully acceptable size of the XTAL, the current XTAL. And I am sure that the consumer version of XTAL is going to get smaller. That's what they're aiming for right now. George, wow. Thank you so much again, man. You don't have to thank you. I really appreciate it. Cheers to VR happiness. Merry Christmas to everyone here. Wow, I wish I could buy you a beer as well, man. Thank you. Automotive companies are extremely interested and already testing multiple VR solutions. Yes, and not only automotive companies, but also like the army, and so there are so many companies that are actually interested in those XTAL headsets and so there is a huge market for this. And I'm not surprised that the XTAL Business Edition or the professional version is beyond $5,000, because it is really impressive in many ways, especially if you need that clarity and that perfect, almost perfect screen door effect and everything. So there is a market for that as well. But for us gamers and dedicated VR junkies, I think we need that consumer level product, and let's hope it's going to be there soon. So guys, let me answer a couple of more questions. Let me answer a couple of more questions before we end this up. I think we've been going on for more than 2 hours now. Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes. I think that's quite a long time. Skidrew is mentioning, Martin, you can't use WANs without lighthouses. Yes, I know that. I was probably just telling you wrong before, but you can use at least lighthouses without controllers. That's what I mean. So if you happen to back the Pimax with the lighthouses and controllers, you can at least hopefully get the lighthouses soon, because they should be ready soon, so you can at least play games, yeah, at least sitting down games with a gamepad or mouse and keyboard with positional tracking, so you can like move around. So that's what I was trying to say. But of course you need lighthouses to be able to use the controllers, at least for Pimax. And so guys, let's see if I've missed anything here. I really hope not. Wow, Secure Access Locksmith, man, thank you so much for your support. And oh, I missed the second super chat of you. Sorry man, Secure Access Locksmith. Have you got Arma 3 to work in VR? There is one video, but it didn't not work for me. Well, as far as I know, they're supposed to be working with Vorpex. So I will investigate that and try it out. I think if you take a look at the full, what is it called? Vorpex compatibility list, then it should actually be including Arma. Yeah, Arma 2 and Arma 3. It should supposed to be working. So I will try that. And I will let you know. I will try to remember that. Hit me on Discord or wherever also, in case I forget about this. And I will reply to you. It's quite easy for me to just test that game with Vorpex any day, maybe later this week. So yeah, we'll see. But it's strange that you didn't get it to work. Maybe there is some kind of profile you have to load in Vorpex actually. So guys, what more? Do you have any more questions here? Wing of Tech, have you kept in contact with SteamVR? How heavily will their development be affected with the loss of Sunbreeze Studios? You mean Starbreeze, I think, as an investor. Well, I have no contact with SteamVR actually. This is something that Sebastian is having. He has more contact with them. He has been at their office testing that SteamVR. So I cannot give you any information about that, but it doesn't look so bright for them right now, as they're lost investors, and the Starbreeze or whatever they're called, they are like, I don't know if they're close to bankruptcy or something. They're just like suffering money issues or economical issues. So I'm not sure. I wouldn't hold my breath for SteamVR right now, at least for now. It seems to be a crazy headset, as far as I know. I mean, Sebastian tried it, Thomas tried it, and the field of view is like full 220 degrees or something. But yeah, just wait with SteamVR for now until we know more information. I think we're closer to get a very nice XTAL unit. And also the Pimax headsets are here already. The business edition will be here soon if you prefer the OLED. So yeah, SteamVR, I wouldn't hold my breath to that right now. Rocky only. Hello, I still have two 980 Ti's in SLI, which were great for my Vive. But is that even usable with the Pimax? I am a backer and switched to the 5K Plus, and I'm worried I will have to upgrade my GPU to use it. Well, I would say it's SLI or SLI or SLI, I think it's called SLI. It's not really working in VR more than in a few games like the Series Sam games. So I don't think you're gonna get any benefit for having two 980 Ti's. Also, the 980 Ti performance is very similar to the 1070 performance, which I would say is minimal for Pimax, minimal level to really enjoy Pimax. You can probably play games like Onward and Pavlov and some others with an acceptable frame rate. You'll probably be able to play like Job Simulator or whatever with full frame rate also on a 980 Ti. But still, I think you should upgrade your GPU. You don't need to go for the RTX series, of course, but maybe on 1080 Ti when it's gonna get available maybe secondhand or something. I would really recommend you that, just to get rid of that frustration with the low frame rate, with the frame jumps or frame loss. And yeah, it's just not really fun to play like that with low performance. Jens or Genos Netram, also SteamVR, are we still going to do the RTX 2080 Ti SLI video? Yes, I am going to do. As I said, everything has just been pushed aside and postponed, but I have all the plans on a list and I'm going to do them. Me and my brother are going to gather our two RTX 2080 Ti video cards, and we're going to use an SLI bridge, which actually is supposed to be available in my local store, so I can just grab it for a couple of days and just give it back to, or return it back. So yes, that's something I will be working on, probably not with this week, but I will talk to my brother because he needs to be available as well. But we're gonna make it, so don't worry about that. I'm really interested to play those games that are actually supporting SLI in VR, especially with the best VR headset available on the market, so we can actually bump up the super sampling even more, even make the game look crazy. We'll see about that. So will the new Vive knuckles work with Pimax? Robert is asking. Yes, they will. As far as I know, they will, because Pimax is supporting all the SteamVR tracking solutions and accessories, so don't worry about that, it will work. Let's see what more. Hey Martin, Vorinam is asking, by the way, hi man, sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier. Any chance for XTAL forum for the community like Pimax one? Yes, I'm sure they will bring us a forum, because they are really, really professional with all the other stuff. If I could just show you their admin panel and everything and their software, I mean, it's really top notch. I cannot go into details, but their software, their admin panel is like a portal for every owner of the XTAL. I mean, so you can just log in and do everything, like troubleshoot and find the latest firmwares and all this stuff. Everything is just so nicely made by the VR engineers, the XTAL team. So I'm sure they will bring us some kind of forum for all the pre-orders or backers or whatever that may be further on, when the consumer version headset will be available or starting to be produced or manufactured. So yeah, I have big hopes for that. Airways ARA, did you review your 9900K processor already? No man, as I told you before, it's still in the box. Look at this, it's still inside of there. It's like, yeah, my days have just been too busy, my weeks, my months lately. It's just been too much of a mess in my life, and also the flu and the trips and everything. Now it's going to calm down a little bit with the trips. I'm not going to CES in January, so I'm going to be mainly home, just doing content and reviews and videos. So yes, I will review the 9900K and compare them with other, with my 8700K processor, the i7 one. So yeah, Wing of Tech, holding my breath for the Valve HMD. Well, that's what I'm doing as well, even though I'm really looking forward to the upcoming Pimax models, the B edition, also the XTAL, of course, both the consumer version and the business edition, just to try it out. I'm still really hopeful that the Valve headset is going to be here next year, because that would also be a game-changing thing, especially for a lot of new people into VR. They could probably jump on the train just because of like a Half-Life VR game or something. That would be amazing for the VR industry in general. And also, I mean, it's wider field of view, so it's fantastic. I think I really cross my fingers for Valve right now. I really hope so. Yes. Well, let's see. What more? A few more questions before we jump off this live stream, guys. Let's see. VR Space. Oh, VR Space. Hey, VR Space. I think that's VR Space. The guys Darius and Alex. Hey, SteamVR, if you could get your hands on the new XTALs in the coming months, we can host a free experience demo again of the technology of the VR for the VR community. Would it be up for it? I would be up for it. Of course I will. I need to double check that, of course, with the XTAL or the VR engineers guys. But I'm sure they will be okay with that, and I would love that, man. Thank you so much for asking. Darius, I think you're Darius writing, or maybe it's Alex, I'm not sure, but still, for those of you that has missed this, VR Space were the one arranging the whole Pimax meetup last time in Gouda in Amsterdam, close to Amsterdam in Netherlands 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago. And as I said earlier, I was talking about the Gouda meetup earlier on in this live stream, and I will do a shorter sum up video with it, including some backer conclusions and opinions, and also an interview with Darius, one of the main guys from VR Space. So yes, as a reply to this, yes, I really hope I will be able to join you for another like a community experience demo with the XTAL as well. Yes, Darius, that's Darius. Looking forward to this. But as far as I know, this will wait until like February or March or something before we get those, especially those the current XTAL units. Then, I mean, about those other units, the consumer grade units, that's gonna probably be further on later next year. So I don't know when, and I cannot disclose any more in-depth stuff anyway. So yeah, Stark's beard, man, come on, thank you so much once again. Looking forward to us comparing in 9900Ks in Digital Combat Simulator and 5K plus. Yes, man, I really look forward to that. Thank you so much once again. Please stop now, it's okay. I mean, it's like the third time or something. Wow, thanks, man. Yes, and I'm really curious about your results as well with the 9900K. Are you gonna overclock it, by the way? Because I'm gonna try to run it in like 5.2 or 5.3 gigahertz to really squeeze out the best performance of it. So yes, I think have caught up on most of the comments actually. I hope so. Well, I probably have missed a lot. Tyrell Wood, man, sorry, I totally missed you. Thank you for joining this live stream. And eat ETA for the feeling better. Well, I don't know, my voice is still bad, but I'm feeling better now already, so there's no problem. It's just a little bit hard to talk, and it's just getting worse and worse for every minute we're talking right now. But thank you for asking. I'm already feeling better right now. So yes, Steve C, Star VR versus XTAL. Well, ask Sebastian or Thomas about that, because I have not tried the Star VR yet. Hopefully I will soon. But as we know, we don't know anything about how Star VR will survive this right now. So we'll see, So guys, I think we are gonna round this up now. And thank you so much for all your comments, all your questions and everything. I really appreciate it. So yeah, guys, I really appreciate your support. Even though I haven't been here for you a lot, I'm a little bit more on Patreon lately, especially when I'm traveling, like like I did in Prague and at the VR Space event in Gouda. I upload some videos for the patrons and also the Pimax backers. But my main channel has been suffering a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get on track again. As I said, mix up the content a little bit more with more, not only the benchmarks, not only Pimax. I'm gonna use the Pimax a lot probably because I'm not that interested to use the Vive anymore. I'm not that interested to use the Oculus, to be honest. But yeah, maybe with some comparisons videos, we'll see. But also I will do those gameplays, just the regular gameplays, and just some more like simpler videos, just to keep on my regular schedule, because I've been concentrating too much myself on doing in-depth stuff, too geek out stuff, and that takes time to make, you know, as you probably know already. So yeah, wow, George, please come on, man, thank you so much. All good things come in threes. Sorry for a smaller amount. Wow, you're not supposed to say sorry, man. Thank you so much for even doing this. I really appreciate it, and you know, it's crazy. Thanks, man. Any more, and my wife won't stop butching when she sees the bank statement. That's why I told you, just quit now. Thank you so much. You really made my Christmas already. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. And George, I wish you a happy, well, not happy New Year, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Guys, thank you so much. I see all of you are saying thanks now. And Stark Spear, you're gonna overclock it to 5.1. Okay, but also controlling. Okay, cool. Controlling the 6 degree of freedom platform. I think that's quite CPU demanding as well. Yeah, 5.1 gigahertz is quite good for a 9900K. That's great. Genos NetRem, or Jens, he will attend the potential XTAL meetup in Hauda with VR Space. That sounds amazing. I really look forward to see you there again, man. And George is Santa Claus. Yes, he really is. And many of you are here today. Thank you so much for all your support. So yeah, more back to basics. Airways, ARA, more gameplays and stuff. But I will not stop doing those geek out videos, because I really enjoy doing those videos as well. It's really fun to do, to just geek out and give you a lot of infos. And I know there's so many simulators still I need to cover with the Pimax, because I really want that to give you full coverage of those most important simulators like Elite Dangerous and iRacing and yeah, the others. So there's going to be more of everything. So, oh, Mr. Lou, hi. In the last second I saw you. I don't know if you have been here with us tonight, but I see you at least now. Thank you for joining. More gameplay videos, please. Yes, there will be more gameplay videos. Probably I'm going to do some with Pimax because it's just more immersive to me. But hope you don't mind. It's still going to be just regular videos or gameplays. Alex, okay, this is going to be my last question answer, I think. Alex Burnett, should I sell my Vive and get the Pimax 8K when it comes out? Yes, but do not do that yet, because it's going to take some time until the pre-orders are even started to be sent out. So enjoy your Vive for now, and once the Pimax gets available for fast shipping and fast orders, then you're going to have a blast when you have the Pimax. But for now, everything is just going too slow. So keep your Vive and enjoy VR as much as you can for now. So big hugs to you all, guys. Thank you so much again. And wow, VR Space. Wow, you're freaking crazy, man. Come on. Oh my God. Darius, man, please. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. But you know, you have supported me so much already. Wow, that was a bit shocking. Thank you so much for this. And I promise that this video about your full show at the Hauda, the VR Pimax backer meetup. I'm losing words now right now. I'm gonna have it done sometime this week, because I really look forward to have it published. And I really look forward to see you again. We had some great time in the Netherlands and Hauda and Amsterdam also. Wow, thank you guys. And yeah. Guys, I need to end this because I can just keep on talking all night, but I need to end this now. Thank you so much again. Have a lovely night now, and see you in the... I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow, but at least the day after tomorrow I should have some content for you ready, and then I'm going to keep on just have a steady flow of content coming up. Both XTAL video and the VR Space Pimax backer meetup video, and a lot more coming up, I promise you guys. So thank you so much once again for joining, and thank you so much to all my patrons. I really appreciate the support, and my official sponsors, Art Armin, Commander, Darklight, and also VR Ambassador. Thank you guys, and have a lovely evening now. And wow, so much so much cheers up from people here. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep on reading for a little here, and I will reply to some of you here in the comments, and see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.